Hey YouTube, this is part one of my oak leaf wine. It's a traditional recipe, so it's very simple, very easy to follow, and the results are actually quite nice. So stay tuned for the other parts, so we'll get straight on to how it's made. Right, so for what we're going to need is a lemon and a lime. I like mine a bit more citrusy, that brings out the other flavors. So I'm going to be using half a lime and the peel, which I'm going to put in a liqueur, which I'll show you in a minute, and quarter of a lemon, and the peel as well. I'll be using obviously 1 teaspoon of yeast nutrient, 1 teaspoon of pectolas. It's not necessary because we're not doing fruits, but I want to make sure there's no haze. I will be using here 3/4 of a kilo of sugar, mainly because there's no sugar in this whatsoever, and of course 1 litre of fresh picked young oak leaves. You can tell the young oak leaves mainly because they're very easy to come apart. They're not stringy and leathery, and funny enough, it's just out on the trees. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get started. So the first step, as you can hear in the background, is to boil some water. Take your 1 litre or 4 cups of oak leaves, dump them in, there we go, into a bowl. You can use a pan, probably easier, but I don't have. I'm going to wait for that to boil and pour it on the top here, just to cover it all. 1 boiled kettle. There we go. There we go. Backing down now. So we just add enough in. On the floor. And we've got lovely. Find out yourself. So just going to get a spoon, fingers. That in. Covered. And that is the first part. Right, so while that's done, we're going to do the lemon and the lime. So what I'm you can see lemons, nice and easy
just to get the peel. Like so. Scrape that bit out. Go. Into the liqueur that we're doing. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to leave this for 24 hours. So I'm just going to stir in the peel. So I've got my lime. It's been 24 hours later, and as you can see, it's got a mild yellowy greeny tinge to it. It smells a lot like green tea with the added lemon. It's a bit odd. So what we're going to do is chuck it in a pan, and this is just to kill off anything that's been in there. I'm going to add in a good glug of water as well. There we go. From this I had to go and buy some because I don't have any spare pimentas. There we go. I'm just going to give it a good glug. There we go. That's just to cover the leaves over, and we bring it to the boil. Once we've brought it to the boil, what we're going to have to do is let it cool down. So I'm just going to put it all in here, like so. And now we just leave it to boil, and then we'll add in the sugar and strain it off. Right, so it's come to the boil, and I've turned it off. There we go. So now we've got all the juice and the liqueur and all the tannins and the flavours from the oak leaf. There we go. Throw that in there. Don't have to worry too much about that. You just pull it out and strain it off. Just let all the water come out, because this is the liqueur that we're going to ferment. There. And because the oak leaves don't contain any sugars, well, that we can use, I've got 3 cups of sugar here. Since I'm using a measuring jug, might as well just carry on. And just liberally pour that in, and the heat will help dissolve it. Ah, look at that, that's perfect. And then we just carefully stir this sugar in. And now I'm going to get, for this recipe, more sugar and another 3 cups, so a total of 6. Ah, no. Which is just over a kilo of sugar, it turns out. And I've got more sugar down here. Give it a little shake. There we go. There's another 3 cups of sugar. So what I'm going to do, because I don't have the room, quickly rinse this out of all the leaf material. There we go, all the oak leaves are gone. stove. So carefully pour this back into the pan. A little bit of sugar left on the bottom there, I'll rinse it back in. Sugar. Add a little bit more water. There we go. It's a learning process. Should have used a bigger pan. And then just pour that sugar in. And give it a good stir so you mix all that sugar in. And this will be your concentrate to which to add it up to a gallon. Scoop it around. There we go. And that is all the sugar gone in, just because I can. Tastes like green tea. Which I really shouldn't say, but it does actually taste a lot like green tea. So I'm going to mix in a litre of water, because I only used a litre last time, with a little splash. This will cool it down quicker. Now I'm going to pour away this water. This container contains 5 litres. It is sterile because I've only just opened it, so I don't need to sterilize it or anything. So I'm going to pour away pretty much the whole thing. There we go. Just going to leave a little bit in the bottom, and I can top it up with fresh water. This will keep it nice and cool. I've got my funnel, which I've got right there. As you can tell, it's not that hot anymore. Fingers on it. And with the extra water, it will keep it nice and cool. The cheap way, but it works. And as you can tell, it's changing colour, so that's a good sign. Thing. And again, because this doesn't have, there we go. See, that worked out rather perfect. And since this doesn't have lots of plant material in, it's not going to foam up, so you can actually fill it up to the top. So typically, I have now lost everything I was after in pure sense. So I'm just going to go and get that, which is just here. And then we can pretty much pitch the yeast straight away because it's around room temperature. So I need you, and I'll need a hydrometer. So obviously, yeast nutrient, we want a good fermentation. We've got here. So in goes 1 teaspoon, he says. Half teaspoon, another half teaspoon. And we're going to give that a good shake. Go, that's that all added in. Then we're going to get our hydrometer, which I happen to have right here. Come here. Freshly sterilized, the dripping liquid, and we're going to pop it in. And it is exactly, let's give it a little twist so I can show everyone, coming up at 17%. Pop you in there. So now you know how much 6 cups of sugar is. So for this, you can pitch just ordinary wine yeast, but I'm going to be using the dessert high tolerance one. And that's just mainly because, well, I have it to hand. Both will work. And then you just sprinkle some in the top. And that is part one of how to make oak leaf wine. So I hope you like this one. Gives you some ideas of cheap homebrew. And come back for parts 2 and 3 and you'll get to see me taste this after it's been aged. So thank you very much.